Hi, I'm Mary Kopczynski, the CEO of Regalytics. Here's your update on this week's 21,000 regulatory alerts. Exactly 21,000. So that's cool. The regulator of the week is Montana, not only because of the fact that it was the most prolific law passing state this week, but also because the following alerts caught my eye. One, an act banning TikTok in Montana, including banning any mobile application store from offering TikTok to Montanan users. That includes the Apple Store, and I'm sure Apple is super excited to have laws where certain apps are allowed in certain states and not others. Second, a common definition for the word sex when referring to a human. Thanks, Montana. Now I know a female has XX chromosomes and can produce eggs, and a male has XY chromosomes and can produce sperm. Thanks for that. Third, a revision of the laws to clarify fundamental parental rights. Sorry, teens. They can do anything they want, except for physically or sexually abuse you. Your parents control your religion, your biometric scanning, even your ability to do overnights with kids of the opposite gender until you're 18. And finally, a law providing that state and local governments in Montana cannot require that buildings be constructed to have solar panels, batteries, or electric vehicle chargers. Thank you, Montana. You have spoken. The topic of this week is what's old is new. For us geezers out here, it's been interesting to observe that the next generation of young leaders is experiencing things for the first time in their lives. For example, a higher interest rate environment. Thinking it's unprecedented when many of us remember the interest rates in the late 80s ahead of the popularity of residential mortgage-backed securities. Anyway, let's begin with Walt Disney. Disney is backing out of its nearly $1 billion office complex that was scheduled for construction in Orlando, Florida. Instead, the company and more than 2,000 jobs will stay in California. The FDIC is dusting off the 1994 loan-to-deposit ratio rules for regional banks. We've seen this before, so why invent something new to solve a problem we've already solved? Basically, it's not cool for a bank to take deposits from all the local people, but then refuse to offer credit to the local people. It's also uncool for a bank to then take those deposits and use it to buy a branch outside of its home state to make it look like they have a higher loan-to-deposit ratio. The FTC is dusting off its funeral rules. This one has been in place for over 40 years and is occasionally pulled out to confirm it's still relevant and up to date in modern times. Because think about it, you're already in distress over the death of a loved one and then someone takes financial advantage of you. I mean, what could be worse? The current questions on the table have to do with pricing and whether or not funeral homes need to price somewhere digitally, like on a website, or at least be able to send it to you through email. Some of them still insist you come in person to get the information. Also with the FTC, biometric data has been on the radar for over 10 years. Think mugshots and most wanted posters. But just between 2014 and 2018 alone, facial recognition had become 20 times better at finding a matching photo in a database. The tech has also become inexpensive and thus ubiquitous in retail and consumer environments. Think about the owners of Madison Square Garden that were stopping recognized legal enemies from walking in the building to see a concert. Anyway, the FTC reiterated in a new warning that they will be combating unfair or deceptive acts using biometric information technologies. And speaking of mugshots and most wanted posters, happy 100th birthday to INTERPOL, which is an international agency focused on police collaboration. The FTC also busted an ed tech company and a health tech company. The ed tech company was using children's personal information for advertising, and the health tech company was using personal information from women tracking their ovulation cycles for advertising. Classy. The educational tech company was claiming it was the school's responsibility to arrange compliance with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, or COPPA, and the FTC said, no, my friends, The responsibility is with the ed tech alone. And last but not least, from the FTC this week, famous people. I don't know these famous people, but Scott Yancey, who was the star of the home flipping show Flipping Vegas on A&E, and Dean Graziosi, the author of Millionaire Success Habits. They got busted for promoting a get-rich-quick scheme, and they were involved in efforts to bury online customer complaints saying that it was a scam. What else? Well, near the end of my review, I thought, oh, no sweeping change from the SEC this week? That's weird. And then I got to the end. Yeah, they proposed rules for living wills for clearing agencies. Now, on this topic, I will say that remember when there was too big to fail? Well, the regulators created clearing agencies for derivatives that were way, way, way too big to fail. So yeah, I think it makes sense. They should have a good plan in place of how business operations will be handled for the world's derivatives market if they go bankrupt in a crisis. Not a bad idea. Last ones I leave you with are more of these amazing National Institute of Health applications of AI and machine learning. So researchers recorded pain-related data from inside the brain of individuals with chronic pain disorders caused by stroke or amputations, like phantom limb pain. And in doing so, researchers were able to identify an area of the brain associated with chronic pain and its biomarkers. And then also, researchers in a separate study found out that inexpensive smartphone cameras can help doctors identify premature infants needing treatment for retinopathy or prematurity, whatever that is. And that's it this week for Regalytics. So join me every Wednesday for your dose of regulatory news.